become physically fit? And we go, well, no. Yeah, but it's quality, man. That doesn't matter. Because what we all know, what we intuitively sense, is that if you really want to develop physical health and wellness, okay, if you really want a fit body, it takes the right quantity of quality in order for the results to be produced, right? You don't get that. It takes quantity and quality, and then you can have a physically fit body. Guess what? When it comes to raising our kids, when it comes to mentoring the next generation, it takes quantity of quality in order to produce a spiritually, relationally, and emotionally fit child. In order to create a spiritually, emotionally, and relationally fit family. The real answer to this debate is you need quantity of quality time to parent well. That's what it takes. I mean, I wish I could say, look, I've discovered a secret. If you'll take 5 minutes once a week, your kids will turn out great. Wish I had that. Fortunately, there's not one. It takes a quantity of quality time. But you know, this just to me leads to another question. You know what the question is for me? What's quality time? Is that a fair question? I mean, what's quality time with kids? A lot of us would say, it's like when we're not arguing. Quality, you know, what is it? Can I suggest a definition? I'm going to suggest that a good definition of quality time would be time spent helping our children pursue a relationship with God, or learning to love others as God does, or learning to see themselves as God does. If I've spent some amount of time with my kid where in some way I have helped them to know God better, want to pursue God, see the importance of a relationship with God or in His ways, that's quality. If I spend time with my child and in that time I've helped that child to understand how to love people the way God does. If I spend time with my child that has helped my child to see themselves more like God sees them, that is quality time. Now, do you like that definition? Does that work for you? Is that something you could fit in where? You know, it's not like I just, sat there and in my own intellectual prowess came up with this definition. I have to admit, I stole it. I stole it from a guy whose name was Jesus. And he said these words. He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the what?
First
and
greatest.
Is it, look, everything rides on this. If you want me to give you a synopsis of the Bible, here it is. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. It's the first and greatest. And the second is like it, very similar to really close number 2. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Pursue a relationship with God. Love your neighbor. Understand how to love people the way God wants them to be loved. And to love your neighbor as yourself. An appropriate self-love, a self-respect, an awareness of who we actually are in the eyes of God. And when we see ourselves as we actually are in the eyes of God, we will neither be lifted up with pride, nor will we allow ourselves to be abused or abuse ourselves or think we're nothing and nobody, we're depressed and we hate ourselves. Neither will happen. We will have a healthy, balanced self-view. You know what's fascinating? I had a conversation with my daughter on Friday night. We went to a concert. I know some of you went to the Jeremy Camp concert. Okay, yeah, was that fun? Yeah. I went to a Bob Dylan concert. Okay? So my daughter and I, we went to a Bob Dylan concert. And what's fascinating is that on the way there, my daughter made this statement almost out of the blue. She said, I cannot even describe the difference it would make in our culture if young women learn to see themselves for who they really are. and not what our culture tends to tell them they need to be. And I started thinking, man, there would be a lot of problems corrected if only that were true. That's a part of what it means to spend quality time with our kids. And when we spend that kind of quality time, in a large quantity of times, then you know what? We are parenting well. So that just leads to another question in my book. Everything to me leads to a question. And that is, have you looked at my calendar? I am so big. Anybody here, you got so many hours to kill, you have no idea what you do with spare time? Anybody? Or are you, I feel like most of us are like, man, we were so jammed. We're running here, we're doing that, we had all these obligations, and now you're talking about we have to have quality time, and it's like, how I want to do it. We all want to do it, but how in the world are you going to get that done? That's the big question. And I want to see if I can help to answer that question. I think we can make quantity of quality time when we bring God into the rhythm of family life. The rhythm of family. Look, every family has a rhythm. Every family has habits, patterns of behavior that we just routinely do every day, every week, every season, every year. We just have habits. And here's the thing. Whenever these things, these habits, these routines, these rhythms, whenever something becomes a part of the rhythm of life, it just gets to be accepted as normal. It's what we do. And not only are rhythms eventually seen by children as normal, they're also seen by children as, well, important. They're important because it's what we take time to do as a family. I mean, you can say that something is important conceptually. This really matters. But unless it's brought into the rhythm of life and it keeps showing up on a habitual basis, either daily or weekly or seasonally or whatever, unless it does that, then basically we go, well, you know what, that's not really important. That's not really normal. I mean, we could say things like, boy, you know what, we really think that exercise in our family is an important value. Except, of course, for all of our talk about it, we eat high-fat foods all the time, and we never work out or exercise other than the clicker of the television. And we could say, oh yeah, conceptually, we believe in physical fitness. But you see, because there's no rhythm in our family life, there's no rhythm to exercising or eating or talking about fitness or whatever, then it's like, look, really, it's not normal for us to do those exercise things. And it's really not that important because it's not part of the rhythm. Whatever we make a part of our family rhythm, the ebb and flow of how family life goes, becomes normal. And kids deem it as important. Sandy and I started a little tradition when our kids were young. And we thought, you get up on Christmas morning, right? And the kids are all, and they run to the tree, and then you open gifts. And have you ever noticed a lot of gifts, they get about 7.3 seconds in the spotlight. And then it's like, oh, it's so cool. What's next? And that's it. And then whatever gift wins is kind of the gift they really hang out with. And we thought, you know what? You got all this, joy on Sunday morning, but some gifts need to get shortchanged. Let's do something different. Let's start celebrating Christmas like a week before Christmas Day. And we'll get together as a family in the evening. And what we'll do is we'll play a family game. And if the kids win the game, they get to open a present. And if the parents win the game, the parents get to open a present. And I have to let you know, in all the years, never one time have we parents ever won a game. This has never happened.